Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the third round of Season 16 here in Division 2. My name is Enla Felix One. I'll be taking you through tonight's action at the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka, and we should have a very good race in store for us. Day 17 drivers in the lobby right now with Phantom Fox and Lankeys, the two Stelba guys, still on their way. So we'll have a 19-car grid around, the legendary Suzuka, and it should be, like I said, a really fun race, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Third round of the season. Championship leader Edwin still. Gabri's back after missing the Chinese Grand Prix. Piscivoli is also back after having missed the Chinese Grand Prix, so this should be really good. All of the championship contenders, or at least the main favorites in the championship, all in attendance. We're only actually missing two main drivers today in Flavors and Desi. Everybody else has made it for today. And we also have two reserves joining us with Mihai, who is racing in the Alpine today, replacing Flavors. And then we have a new face joining us today. We've got Miguel Zapatero. I hope the pronunciation is correct. I'm sure at least the Miguel part I've gotten right. If I've gotten the last name wrong, I do apologize. He's in the Haas today. He's taken the space of Charlie, who's also not actually here today. So that's how we've ended up with 17 cars in the moment. It will be 19, hopefully, if Phantom and Lanky both make it. And I'm hearing a lot of crying in the Div 2 chat, so I reckon we're gonna have some rain. Does look pretty cloudy, to be fair. Rain after 30 minutes is the information that I'm being given by Mihai. I will quickly invite Lanky Brown. He's asked for an invite. And while I'm at it, I might as well try to invite Phantom as well. Hopefully it goes through. Not missing much anyway right now, just in the outlaps, unless Mihai is doing another Mihai thing, just crashing on turn 1 of the outlap. Nope, everyone is still alive. Mihai hasn't left the pits yet, so that's why. So the first car is going to be on a lap is actually Miguel. He's come out the pits first, so we can watch his first lap in F1 Total, his debut in the league. Yeah, like I said, taking the space of Charlie in the Haas for today. And we'll see how he stacks up against the rest of the grid. Already quite loose through Spoon Corner there. All over the curb on the inside, and the car did not like that. Steps out on him completely. Williams behind him of Pix is going to be the second one on the hot lap as well. And there we go, breaking at the 100 meter board for the chicane. Casio triangle, and onto the lap he goes. And Mihai has disconnected. I will invite him back as soon as I can. There he is. So, in the meantime, Miguel going down into turn 1. And he understeers off the track into the grass as well. Lap is still valid though, let's see, he keeps going. So that wasn't the greatest of starts to the lap for Miguel at all. But the rest of the section fairly clean. Oh, just as I said, coming to the curves onto the curb. On the exit, I think the Dunlop curve that's called. We go into Degner, keeps it not flat, bit of a lift. Down to third gear for the second Degner. And under the bridge and into the hairpin. A really good spot. Just go for a nice overtake. I think he went into the grass on the brake in there, that sent him way wide. So a bit of a messy lap for Miguel so far. He's gonna have to try again the second and third run to get that cleaned up a little bit. And surprised that wasn't track limits. Same mistake he did on the outlap there. Tapping the curb on the inside. Just getting a bit loose. And now he's got North Ripples ahead of him, who lets him through quite nicely. Into 130R, fully flat of course, and down into the Casio triangle for the last lap of the, for the last corner of the lap, braking at the 100 meter board once more. Second gear throughout the chicane, back onto the throttle. And DRS over the line for Miguel. That's going to be a 132.469. And then we've got his teammate Guga River with a 28.4, a whole 4 seconds faster. And then we have, well, that's not got ideal there at all. It was Cuckoo starting this lap. Yeah, and he's abandoned the lap already. He's starting it right behind Miguel. And yeah, got caught up behind him. I think we have Action Rig coming into the lap. Dylan jumping into second place there at 29.0. Action Rig with a 29.5. See 3 more cars coming over the line. That's Owise 29.1. Edwin is starting his lap. Aussie, of course, last week's race winner in China, his first race win in Division 2. And over the line, that's going to be a 28.909, second position for the Mercedes man. And go on board. Oh, Edwin is invalidated already in the first sector. Our championship leader has thrown the lap away before it even really gets going. Sully is down into the Casio triangle here as well. Hasn't had the best of starts to the season so far. 6 points only in the first 2 races, and over the line for him, that's going to be a 28.585, second position, and he's looking to kickstart his season properly now. Gabri also coming from the first sector, very loose there on the rear end. He actually came back from vacation today, and he's had absolutely no practice. He's coming completely cold, so we'll see how that goes for him. If he yeah, can get ready in time. Cuckoo with a 41.2. Now we have DC Rao, of course. Cuckoo we saw abandoned the lap earlier. He's gonna go for another one on the same set of tires. DC Varel in the meantime, he jumps into 5th position with a 29.0. The next car across the line is not the McLarens, but they are both on in-laps, I believe, yes. Sean just starting a lap. I think the next car over the line could be Gabri. There we go. Mia is back in the lobby now. So at the moment, it's Guga River on pole position. 1.5 tenths separating him from Sully. Sean in 3rd place. And now Gabri coming up to the line. Like I said, almost 0 practice. And it's a 28.753. That took a long while to actually get up on the leaderboard. 3rd position for the Italian. And fairly close between Gabri and Sean. Oh, Dylan with a spin. Coming out of the hairpin. Has to reverse the car. Thankfully no one anywhere near him, so he didn't get in anyone's way by spinning there. But that's his lap ruined. Owise is on another hot lap on his second motor session. A 29.1 to beat. I think he's on the used of tires as well, so he's just kept going on the soft compound he started the qualifying session with. Of course, using a bit of overtake down into 130R. And he's gonna be up by almost 4 tenths there. 11.8 middle sector. Aston Martin letting him through there, parking up on the left hand side. He breaks the 100 meter board. There's Fan and Fox in the lobby as well. There we go. We're up to yeah, the full 19 drivers we expected for today. And Owise goes over the line, puts in a 28.871 and jumps into P6 with that. Miguel is invalidated the lap he's currently on. Cuckoo is also invalidated the lap he's currently on, but I think, yeah, he's on an in-lap anyway. He just went 3rd fastest with 28.703. It's an all-Italian chasing pack right now. Guga River on pole position, followed by Sully, Cuckoo and Gabri. Got Owise. I didn't say he's up by 2 tenths, he just finished the lap. Yeah, now he's down by 2 seconds, that seems more like it. DC Willie on his first lap of the session. Of course, also one of the drivers to look out for. Very, very strong season last time around. 4 points of the championship in the end. It's a really close fight in the title fight between himself, PC Wooly, between himself, Gabri and Sully. Fully flat from Degner 1. I will also invite Phantom Fox once more. Since I saw him disconnect, I hope he can get back into the lobby. There we go, Phantom Fox invited. So for PC Wooly, that is going to be a 1:11.4 middle sector. That's quite strong. I think we saw Always do a 0.8 earlier. And he's 4/10 off pole, so PC Wooly 4/10 faster than the guy is 4/10 off pole. Could he steal pole position away from Google River? Looked like a good Casio triangle there, but he's 1 out of EIS over the line. But it's enough, and it's not even close. 28.012 for PC Wooly. 4/10 ahead of second positioned Google River. He can be quite happy with that. And now we have Phantom Fox in control of his car as well, that's really nice to see. As we have got Mihai coming up to the end of the hot lap. Into the Casio triangle he goes. Action Rick out of the session. I think he retired in the pit lane there. Miguel going into the pit lane just ahead of Mihai, and Mihai puts in a 28.881. And now we've got Edwin coming up to the last corner. Right ahead of him, the Alpine of Bazooka starting it up. Hugging the inside barrier there for Edwin. It's going to be a 28.361. Second position for our championship leader. Oh, and picks! And he's out of the session! We just went onto his onboard, and immediately he completely drops it coming out of the spoon curve into the barrier, and no lap time completed for the Williams man. He is out of qualifying. And Always as well, with a retirement in the pit lane actually. I thought he'd go back out on fresh tires, but no. No more laps coming from Always either. Got Ossie coming to the end of the lap here. And he is up by a 10th in the middle sector. 28.909 to beat. I think Sully just improved to third position there as well with 28.363. There's so many drivers out on track right now, or in the session right now. It's quite hard to keep track of who improves to where. Aussie jumping into 8th there with a 28.839. I see an Alpine behind that. That's Mihai on a validated lap. And then Bazooka is up next behind that. 12.2 middle sector, hasn't put a lap in so far. Of course, with that he is in 19th position. And into the Casio triangle he goes. And he's going to put in a 129.025. And with that, he's right behind his teammate Mihai in 11th position. Shaw Moole just dumping into 5th place, 28.468. And now we have Dylan up by 4.5 tenths. From 12th place on the grid right now. He could jump up quite a bit here. Short shifting to 4th gear through the Casio triangle and over the line. That will be a 1:28.438, 5th fastest for Dylan. DC Varungal not on a quick lap in behind, just starting one now. Behind that we've got the Red Bull of Kuko, 23 thousandths up in the middle sector. 28.703, the previous best. What is it going to be? 28.703. 218. What? What is going on right now? There seems to be quite a bit of lag going on with the lap times. Either way, Kuko jumping into 2nd place there. Next one, Aussie into the pit lane. Then we've got a Ferrari. That's Gabri. He's currently 8th fastest. 28.753. And he's going to improve to a 28.138. That took a long time to show up on my screen. 2nd fastest. So he's back from vacation. And he's right back up to speed there as well. Only a 10th and a bit of PC really on pole position there. And I think that everyone for the moment? Miguel is starting a lap here, and I think Lanky Brown, yep, is also on a lap. So 2 guys near the bottom of the field. Oh, and Lanky Brown! With, well, a massive moment. He caught it, but I'm sure the lap is ruined. Miguel, meanwhile, starting his lap, coming from the S section here. So far, so good from what I've seen. And at the end of Sector 1, he is going to be up by 6, almost 7/10. The Haas driver with a big improvement in the first sector. Can go back on board Lanky Brown. It's actually going to keep the lap going, despite the mistake he made in the S section. I thought maybe he'd, yeah, just put the turn the ES off and try again the lap after. Maybe he's low on fuel? No, he has plenty of fuel, he could have done that. He just chose not to. He's coming up behind one of the Ferraris. Oh, that was close. That's a 14.036 middle sector for Lanky Brown. Miguel is already quite low on ES as he comes down the back straight into 130R, and he's going to put in a 13.6 middle sector, up by 1.5 seconds here. So indeed, a big improvement coming from Miguel. Lanky Brown over the line puts in a 31.145. And Miguel, he's going to set a 30.809. 1.6 seconds gain, and he jumps back ahead of Lanky Brown. And I think now indeed we actually do not have a single driver on hot lap. 2 minutes left to go in qualifying. So the drivers just getting ready for their last laps of the session. I think Miguel and Lanky Brown might get around for one more lap. I think Miguel, yep, he's out of fuel. You can see it on the top right of the steering wheel, 0.3 laps of fuel, so he's done with the session. Will be no more improvements coming from him. I think Lanky will get one more lap in on a used set. Oh my god. What is going on here? That does not look good at all. And this might explain why I'm lagging so much, because Marcelio is lagging all over the place, and he's the lobby host. I think he's pulled off into the garage just to make sure. Oh, I don't like this. Yeah, retires from the session. Think he hasn't gotten anyone's way there, thankfully, but that was certainly scary to see. So Mihai is already on his lap. And he is down by 1.5 tenths in the first sector there. Lanky Brown also on his lap already. Gabri actually staying in the pits, so does not think he can improve at all. Everybody else, of course, back out on track, apart from Phantom Fox. 8 tenths gained in the first sector alone for Lanky Brown. Of course, he saw him make that massive mistake in the first sector, which is where that lap time would have been gained. Edwin into the grass, lap invalidated and spun around. That's the end of his qualifying. Sully up by 2.5 tenths in the first sector alone. A very good start to his lap. Kuko River, he was on pole position in the early stages of qualifying, hasn't improved on his banker since then. Now we see what he can do. Dylan up by 78 thousandths in the first sector. Piscivoli, of course, on another lap as well. And Kuko River up by 1.5 tenths as well. I think the first one is going to come across the line. Could be Sully? Yes. So we'll stay on board with the V-Cup man. Well, Lanky Brown. But he's invalidated. So, back to... Yep, back to Sully. Almost 4 tenths gained in the middle sector. Looking at a 127 here, maybe. And that would put him on pole position, ahead of his teammate Piscivoli. And over the line, that's going to be a 127... Was it? No, 28.135, not enough for Sully. Kuko is round at Spoon Corner. Edwin does not improve. Dylan coming up to the line, he puts in a 28.223. Shomul 5,000s down in the middle sector. And over the line for the 3-time world champion. Currently only 8 fastest, improves to 7th at least, but he will not be happy with that. Peaceably up by a 10th, he's already got pole position, but he can increase his gap to the rest of the field here. Looking at a V-Cup 1-2, and no one else is still going. 27.962 for Peaceably. And he extends his gap at the front indeed. Last car still going is Kuku, but we saw him spun earlier, so no improvement coming there, and that's the end of qualifying. And there we have it, the full qualifying results. It's Peaceably on top, with a bit of a gap in behind to Sully and Gabri, who are only 3,000 separated in second and third. Kuko qualifying in fourth, Italian 2, 3 and 4, then Dylan and Edwin in fifth and sixth with a 28.223 and 28.361. Sean ending up in seventh, Cougar River in eighth, didn't improve on his banker in the end. Aussie in ninth, and Bazooka rounding out the top 10 with Always, Mihai, Viral, Action Rig, Miguel, Lanky Brown, Marcelio, Fanafox, and Pix making up the rest of the grid here in Suzuka. So yeah, we're gonna do a quick lobby restart. I think you all just saw the lag Marcelio had, and since he's the lobby host, yeah, that was quite scary. So yeah, we'll just try and get everyone back into a new lobby as quickly as we can, and then we can go racing. Alright, apologies for the quietness. From Malona comes, I need to sometimes, do my admin work as well. I can't find Owise. Shit. There he is. Don't know why he's offline. And same for Marcelio. Alright, we've almost got everyone back in. We need Owise and Action Rig, I think. Oh, there's Owise. Oh, there he is. So just gonna have to Yeah, let Mihai do the grid quickly, and then we can get going. So yeah, we are gonna use a custom weather to have it. It won't be the exact same, but to have a similar weather to before. So it should be dry to start and wet sometime near the end, like about 2/3 into the race, hopefully, if it works as intended. But we will see what the weather ends up being out. The custom weather is a bit inconsistent as well, so yeah, we shall see. Okay, Mihai has given us the okay. He set the grid, set the weather. We are good to go. So yeah, a little bit annoying with the lobby start there, but with the amount of lag that Marcelio had, I think if we had gone into a race like that, that would have not been very fun. But yeah, now with Mihai as the lobby host, hopefully it will be stable and will work as intended. And the second time around, we can load onto the grid. The drivers will have to load the setups once again, put in the strategies, put in the fuel loads once more, and we can get underway for 27 laps around Suzuka for the third race of the season. So far, the race winners have been Gabri and Ossie. Edwin leads in the standings on 37 points, followed by Ossie on 35. Then we've got Gabri on 25, Kuko on 24, Phantom on 16, Dylan on 16, Pisibri on 15, and then Bazooka on 10, Google on 8, Sean on 8, Sully on 6, Flavors on 2, Desi on 1, Lanky on 1, and everybody else so far has not scored points. I am sure that was a very useful rundown. You can definitely remember all of those numbers. And it does indeed look pretty cloudy there in the sky, so that's a good sign that the weather has worked as intended, and we'll have some rain later. Yeah. Should be good fun. Gonna predict mostly mediums, maybe hards, to make sure that people get to the rain, but because of course, if you can avoid it, you would like to do not to have to do a pit stop in the dry conditions and just make it to the rain on the tire you start on. You save one pit stop that way, and of course that's yeah, very, very useful. "19 cars gonna be barreling down into Sector 1 of Suzuka, and that can only end in tears, surely. I mean, such a big grid into such a tight section of corners all at once. It is a recipe for disaster, you would think. But I mean, the last few weeks in Division 2 have been rather quiet on that front. There hasn't been a lot of incidents. The stewards have had an easy time. And, well, from a commentator's perspective, I'd like to change that, but I am also a steward, so if they go absolutely insane today, that will also be extra work for me. So, maybe a nice mix. You know? A good bit of fun, but clean. But there we go. Enough waffling, the private lights are on, the two V-cabs on the front row, side by side into turn 1. Pisivoli and Sully are going to be fighting over lead, and here we go. It's lights out, and away they go. Pisivoli with a decent getaway, leads into the first corner. Gabri attacking Sully around the outside there into turn 1, but Sully, yep, has the advantage over him and holds on to second place. Kuka holding on to 4th, there we've got Dylan up in the 5th. Off the start, Kuka River and Ossi side by side into the end section they go, battling over 7th and 8th, and I think... Oh, Ossi! He's round! Dipped the tire onto the curb there. Car just going round. Thankfully for him, he can rejoin at, well, near the back of the pack there, in 15th position. But not an ideal start for the man who is second in the championship right now. Only 2 points behind the championship leader. And now we have Owais and Sean Mull swapping places for P8. The two Mercedes teammates, Ossi and Ryro, swapping places as well. And that's Action Rick with a bit of a mistake at the hairpin. Meanwhile at the front, Pisivoli 6/10 clear of Sully in second place. The two V-cabs still holding on to 1-2 fairly nicely. Gabri putting a bit of pressure on Sully, but so far not looking for a move. Yeah, just yet. We've got Hearts for Edwin, Bazooka, Phantom, Pix and Marcelio. Everybody else starting on the mediums. And Gabri lifting off the throttle to the 130R there, doesn't want to force a move against Sully, he's being patient. And a Bollard on the apex of the Casio triangle, of course, removed on the very first lap. And DRS will now be enabled. We've got Viral, I think. Yep, he's round at the Casio triangle, and he's picked up a bit of damage there as well. Mihai into the pit lane on the first lap, so he's also probably picked up some damage somewhere. And Viral gets a 10-second penalty, speeds in the pit lane as well, retires from the session. First lap of the race. The first, victim of Suzuka. We've lost Viral on the opening lap of the race to a rage quit. Everybody else though still very much in contention. Very close field we have right now here. Not really any massive gaps. Always has lost DRS to the top 7. But on this track actually losing DRS, of course it's still not ideal, but it's not nearly as bad as on many other tracks. There's only one DRS zone, it's fairly short, so you don't lose too much time. We also have Miguel there, who is under big pressure from Ossi in behind. Ossi trying to find a way around the Haas. Using some overtake down into Spoon there. But Miguel has him covered off for now. He's quite low on ERS, and I think he's going to be very vulnerable down to 130R. Ossi looks for the outside line. Into 130R. Is he going to go around the outside? Yes, he is. Miguel tries to stick a nose in there, but didn't have the speed to do so. And in the end, that's Ossi up to 12, Miguel down to 13th, and he's now got Phantom Fox staring at the back of him. But Miguel with the DRS, as we have a swap for the lead as well. Sully and PC really swapping in DRS, the two teammates, I think, working together a little bit. Miguel is trying to get back at Ossi with the DRS, and he has got absolutely no ERS left, but he still pulls it off. He's got the straight line speed and moves back up into P12. Although Ossi gets back past him into the S section. What a move! I did not expect it. I just started switching the cameras because I thought battle is over. So surely in the S section, Ossi can't find a way around him, but he does. I mean, Phantom Fox has also got a bit of wing damage down the left side of the front wing. The end plate missing for the Sauber. Sully now, of course, in the lead after the DRS for Pisivoli, and look at the ERS Pisivoli has. He is so calm right now. Guga is trying to reconnect the trains there. 1.3 back from Dylan. He needs to gain only a handful of tenths and he'll be in DRS range again to the race leaders. Lanky Brown staring in the back of the Alpine there, Bazooka, the last points paying position, and we've got a 3-wide situation at front, I think. Look at that! Sully, Pisivoli and Gabri, that's Gabri and Pisivoli side by side into 130R. And Gabri with the outside line to the Casio triangle, boxed in behind Sully there as well, but he moves around the outside to the inside of the second power chicane. A beautiful move by Gabri, catching Pisivoli napping. And he's up to second place, but now he has to defend it down the main straight. Pisivoli practically riding his bumper down that straight. But he does not have the run, does he? He's gonna try and hold it around the outside. What a move that would be by Pisivoli. Gabri, very respectful, leaving the space, but still, that is just, yeah, not quite possible for Pisivoli, although he has a look around the outside through the S's once again. Look at this! Pisivoli putting so much pressure on the Italian, but Gabri holds on. And through all of this, look at how close Kuku and Dylan have gotten once more. That little battle that Gabri and Pisivoli just had got the top 5 a lot closer together, and Guga is also getting closer and closer. Edwin right behind him on a hard compound tyre. He will come into play later on when the mediums pull on a bit of tyre wear. And then he could join the battle for the podium, for the race win, who knows. It depends, of course, on how long we have to wait until the rain. If the rain comes earlier, that's better for the guys in the mediums, but if the rain leaves them waiting until, say, lap 17, 18, they're going to really struggle to make the mediums last that long. Edwin, he will be in dreamland in that case. Same goes, of course, for Bazooka, Phantom, Marcelio, Pix, and now Mihai, of course, as well, who already had to make a pit stop. And look at that! Gabri with the run on Sully into 130R, takes the lead of the race, but I'm not so sure if that was a good idea, because it now leaves him really vulnerable down the main straight. Won't have DRS, while both V-caps behind him do. Sully battling into the Casio triangle, but he gets around. And Sully almost spinning into the pit barrier there. Thankfully for him, he caught the car, but still, he's going to be down to 7th place with that. Now we've got Pisivoli up the inside of Gabri for the lead of the race. Gabri getting forced out wide a little bit, and Kuku has a look up the inside. Doesn't quite have the run he needs. Gabri backing out there as he was just about alongside with the front wing next to the rear tyre into the S section. But yeah, with the vortex of danger, that could have ended in a crash if he had tried to stick his nose in there. In the meantime, while a lot of battling was happening up front, we've got Miguel, who's picked up a time penalty, 3 seconds added to his final race time. He got multiple warnings for track limits. And now, with even more chaos up front, Guga River and Edwin have very much joined the battle for the lead of the race. And Edwin goes straight into the back of the Haas there as well. Thankfully for him, hasn't picked up any damage. Sully now leading a train with Owais and Sean right behind him. 1.5 seconds back from Edwin. He needs to try and get back into the DRS of the leaders. Recover from the mistake he made at the Casio Triangle. 5 laps gone into the Grand Prix, 27 laps to be done. So 22 laps to go. Pisivoli with a comfortable gap for Gabri right now. Doesn't have to worry about being overtaken. At least not in the Casio Triangle. But we've got the DRS rate coming up. And that could be Gabri's ticket back into the lead of the race. If he gets good exit. And I think he does, yes. DRS enabled now, and with the overtake, Gabri should be able to get past the Scotsman. Yep, there he goes. Quite simply driving past on the inside, and there's really nothing that Pisivoli can do about it. As we've got Bazooka making a pass on Lanky Brown down the main straight as well. He moves up into 10th position there. Down the field we've got Pix getting past Miguel for 15th. Miguel now is going to be battling with Action Rig, I believe, over 16th. Mihai 22 seconds back, of course, having to make the extra pit stop. He picked up a bit of damage on lap 1. Oh, and Pisivoli really late on the brakes, almost got into the back of Gabri. That could have been, yeah, quite a bad incident. Thankfully he was able to avoid it. Gabri might have a chance to break DRS here though. Another 3-second time penalty now to Miguel. 6 seconds added to his final race time at this point. But Pisivoli, I think, had enough ERS to recover from the mistake. Yep, he is nowhere near in danger of losing DRS to Gabri here. Sully has closed the gap a little bit, but he's about to lose quite a bit down the main straight there as well, of course. With the DRS for everybody else up ahead. That's a couple of tenths that Sully will lose. And then they go onto the main straight once more. Does PC only have a run to reclaim the lead against Gabri? Gabri covering the middle of the track. PC really looks to the outside. But just not quite has the run he needs. Sticks behind for at least a little bit longer. Of course, once the rain comes down, it'll be a lot harder to overtake. So it might be crucial to take the opportunity on the last lap that DRS is enabled. Of course, you don't actually know for sure when the DRS will be disabled. But, yeah, you're gonna want to make sure that when the rain does start coming down, you're the one who's leading the pack. It's a lot easier to overtake with the DRS enabled in the dry. Once it goes wet, you'll have a very, very tough time. And the top 6 so close together here. Guga is a bit further back from the back of Dylan. But very much still in contention. And Edwin, of course, on those hards, biding his time. He knows he needs to play the long game. Wait until everybody else has burned through their tires. And then he can start making some moves. Ferrari 1-6 right now, although PC with a very nice run into 130R. Takes the lead of the race. And is Kuka going to try and follow him through? To the outside into the Casio Triangle, but Gabri has that covered every day of the week. Holds on to second place. Now, does Gabri have the pace, the straight line speed, the ERS for sure, to re-overtake down the main straight? I don't think so. Oh, he does. Picks up quite a bit of speed down the end of that straight there and just rockets past PC Woody. Lanky Brown and Aussie into the pits already. Have they picked up some damage? No, Aussie goes and neither is Lanky. They're both just going for a strategic pit stop onto the hard compound. So the rain must be very far away. I mean, it's early for a normal pit stop. If you're in a full dry race, you would pit around lap 10, 11. So of course they could just be going for quite a big undercut. I'm a bit surprised by that strategy. I thought there was rain coming, but maybe not. Or maybe they think the medium can't hold on that long. So we might as well pit early, get the undercut on everyone else running on the mediums, who also who they think are not going to make it, maybe. Interesting. Of course, the drivers have a bit more information than me available to them with the weather reports update from the engineer, the in-game engineer that they can get. Unfortunately, I only have what I can see on the screen visually. No way to contact a race engineer or anything like that. Unless I could load up a telemetry app, but I'm too lazy for that. So, yeah, I just stay unknowing. We've got Dylan in the pits as well, so he's copying what Lanky and Aussie did. And coming in, Sully and Sean also into the pits. This is quite surprising. Peaceably into the lead there. And for Dylan it's going to be fresh mediums rather than fresh hards. So he's doing a second medium stint. He's now very much reliant on the rain actually coming down. Otherwise he will be in trouble because he is of course not allowed to go to the end on this tire. He needs to make another pit stop. He's not allowed to do a medium-medium strategy. Need to use at least 2 different tire compounds unless you have used an inter or full wet. Because of course in that case if the whole race intermediate conditions, they can't expect you to do a stint on full wets or on dries, you know. In that case you are allowed to well, do a zero stop as well if you want to. Dylan caught behind his teammate here and no team orders at Aston Martin. Dylan needs to find a way around Marcelio. And there we go. Miguel has now gotten a 9-second penalty. And he's off at Degner too. Sully and Sean getting past him in the process. And with the undercut that Dylan is on right now, he's gotten out in a bit of traffic behind Marcelio and now Pix as well. That could cost him a little bit. But of course it could be a good chance. SPC is in the pits as well, and so is Kukyo. They all... Oh, Kukyo! almost rear-ending P-Series there, but he still was easily able to not speed, so I think P-Series was just very cautious in the pit lane. Thankfully though, for everyone involved, no harm done. Kuko has gone into the mediums as well, and so has P-Series, so there's definitely rain coming down. It's just not early enough for them to be able to make it on one set of mediums, they think. Yuga's gone for the hards. Gabri is still staying out in the lead of the race. And here we have it. Dylan has taken the effective, well, I don't know, not really. But he is past P-Series, who was in the lead earlier, so let's say effective lead of the race. But no, of course, not everyone else ahead has to make a pit stop. They might try and hold on until the rain actually comes down. And Dylan now has Pix in between himself, P-Series and Kuko. And that could really help him. You can use Pix as a barricade to get the 1 second gap, drive away. Because P-Series right now is completely stuck, although Pix, he goes off at Degner. And he's way off in the gravel there. That's everyone through as well. I think he might have taken a bit of damage in the process. And he rejoined just ahead of his teammate Sean. Now we have Ossie right behind Miguel. Needs to try and find a way around the Haas. Miguel going deep and Ossie with the switchback. A very nice move. Coming out of the hairpin. And now uses tire to his advantage. The fresh hard against the old mediums. Out-tractions him. And he's back ahead into 15th. Lanky Brown also on fresh tires on the back of Miguel now. Gabri is coming out in the pit lane for a set of hard compound tires. Always the last one. No, Always, Action Rig and Miguel. Those three starting on the mediums and are still going on the mediums. Everybody else, yeah, bailing out on that strategy, and Gabri is actually gonna come out, side by side with P-Series and Kuko, ends up in the middle of them. So the undercut hasn't really cost him all too much, or the undercut of the other guys around him. But indeed, Dylan has pulled off the 1 second gap to P-Series. He's driven away, and if we have a quick look at the gap to the leader, he is 19 seconds behind Edwin. If that hard out of Edwin lasts until the rain comes down, he is so far away from the rest of the frontrunners from earlier. The same, of course. I mean, the gaps are pretty big between all of the top four here. I mean, yeah, 6 seconds from Edwin to Always, 4 from Always to Bazooka, then another 5.5 from Bazooka to Phantom. So it's gonna be a tough job for these guys who made pits. Of course, they are gonna be absolutely flying now. I mean, if I look at again at the gap, yeah, now it's down to 18.1. Dylan has gained a second in that time. I was waffling about the massive gap Edwin has. But if you have a gap of 19 seconds, gaining a second a lap isn't even that much. And in the background, we've got Kuko with a run on Gabri. Of course, Gabri on the hard compound tires, gonna be significantly slower, and Kuko takes advantage, moves up to 7th place. They have lost DRS to PC up ahead, who has gotten DRS on Dylan. And Dylan himself almost in range to Phantom Fox. I think next lap around will be where he's gonna try and pass him. Action Rig coming into the pit lane now, also bails out on that medium tire. 12 laps is probably the latest you would pit doing a normal dry race around Suzuka. So yeah, at this point they would be close to 60% tire wear if they have a normal setup and a normal driving style. Of course, it will be a little bit less, a little bit more for some drivers. And Always still going strong there. And he's not really like noticeably slower than the guys in the hards. So the medium still holding on decently for him. Of course, in comparison to the guys on fresh mediums, he is significantly slower, but that's to be expected. It's more about the comparison to the hards. That would tell me when he's gone off the cliff. Another time penalty to Miguel. It seems like he's getting a time penalty every 3 laps, so he must be getting a warning every lap. I'm not sure if it's just the same corner over and over again he struggles with. But yeah, he's up to 12 seconds of penalties now. As Phantom Fox is being attacked by Dylan into 130R. Dylan, Always now in the pit lane. Dylan behind at the detection point, very crucial, and he completes the move to the Casio Triangle. Now he's got DRS as well. And there comes P-Series there, 3 wide, coming out the Casio Triangle down the main straight. Beautiful racing this is. And P-Series, They make a bit of contact down the straight. PC when he gets past Dylan. In the background, Kuko getting past Phantom Fox as well. Is he? Yes. Kuko up to 5th, PC up to 3rd, and Dylan to 4th. Phantom Fox down to 6th position, losing 3 places in one straight. And now he's got Gabri all over the back of him on 10 lap fresher tires as well. So that's going to be not very long until Gabri gets past him either. Not sure what's happened to Kuko River, but he's come out after the pit stop phase way behind the rest of the top runners. And Gabri with a move into Degner too. Phantom backing out there, opting to choose life pretty much. And now we've got these guys chasing after Bazooka. 4 seconds between PC and Bazooka in 2nd place. And then 12 seconds to Edwin. He is so far gone from everybody else. It is, insanity. Always on the back of Marcelio there. He's also just come out the pit lane from mediums onto the hard compound. So the fact that we're halfway through the race and he's still going for hards, the rain must be quite far away. Otherwise, like, if he decided, it's like 10 minutes but I can't make it on this tire anymore, you would go for mediums. But it must surely say like at least 20 minutes if he's going for hards at this point. So the rain might not even come down, honestly. And that would really hurt the guys that pitted from the mediums. It would just completely ruin PC, Dylan and Kuko. I mean, it's set to custom weather, so the rain should definitely come down. The point of doing cloudy was that the transition would be like quicker than if you put sunny in theory. So the rain would come earlier, or we would go to intermediates earlier to actually get, because the rain wasn't right at the end, but you only have 3 weather icons in the custom weather screen. Miguel now, finally also into the pit lane and off that old medium. And we've got a yellow flag for Marcelio. He is spun around in the S section. And he's going to rejoin the race behind Pix there. Not sure if he made contact with another car, but he's gotten going once more. Miguel coming out on the soft compound. So maybe the rain isn't so far away. 1.6 seconds between Basivoli and Bazooka. He's absolutely flying on those fresh mediums. And nice train forming there as well between Basivoli, Dylan, Kuko and Gabi. They're all very close together. Sully's gotten past Guga River, but I think that battle is far from over. Guga is staying pretty close to Sully. I wouldn't say close enough for a move this lap around, but if you can get a little bit closer, it's definitely possible. PC only 1.1 to Bazooka. Next lap, he will definitely be in range to the Alpine. Lap 15 of 27. The rain still not coming down, which I must say is a little bit surprising. I thought it would be here by now. Of course, Edwin is going to be hoping that rain comes as soon as possible, and the same goes for Bazooka and for Phantom Fox. They all massively benefit the earlier this rain comes, so they can pit onto the intermediates, get off those old tires, and have an equal position to the guys behind them again. And in Edwin's case, a massive gap. In Bazooka's case, in Phantom's case, a nice block track position. Now, if the rain comes down now, Edwin has pretty much won the race. But the longer it makes him wait, the worse for him. And now PC really is indeed very close to the back of the Alpine there for Bazooka. And I think he's going to try and pass him down the main straight with the ERS. Of course, if he passes him here, he will be vulnerable to being re-overtaken, so it only makes sense to wait a little bit. Not waste all your ERS down that straight, and indeed waste all of it right here. Baltic mode enabled, DRS open for PC Woody. And he completely flies past Bazooka. The Alpine uses a bit of overtake, he tries to defend it, but I think he knows it's a lost fight. Massive tire advantage, DRS, not much you can do about it. But now, we've got Dylan, Kuko and Gabri caught behind him, looking to get around the Alpine to stay with PC Woody. It's worth mentioning, I think, Dylan had a yellow fuel light. Dylan is actually low on fuel here. And it's, oh my god, minus 0.28 I'm reading, or minus 0.3. It keeps swapping back and forth. Dylan is in big trouble with fuel. And Kuko now with a bit of a run on the Aston Martin. Dylan covering the inside. Ah, Kuko, what are you doing? Just, yeah, on the grass, tries to send it around the outside into the hairpin. And he pays the price for it, loses the place to Gabri and loses out on DRS. And I think he picked up damage as well. Yeah, that was just not gonna happen for Kuko. Pisivoli has now broken DRS to Bazooka, who is still ahead of Dylan and Gabri. In the meantime, Sully and Kuko have caught up to Phantom Fox in the battle for 7th. 17 laps gone, still no rain. And now we're gonna see, I think, Dylan and Gabri both get past Bazooka. Gabri might actually get them both here, because look at that, the Ferrari is so close behind. They both get past. Gabri, nope, not quite the run he needs against Dylan. But Phantom Fox, he gets overtaken by Sully. River not following through though. Sticks behind in 9th place for the moment at least. We've now got a 2-second gap from Pisivoli to Dylan. They're gonna have to try and overcome that once more. And look at this from Gabri! A move coming out of the S section into Degner 1. Burns him with overtake while Dylan is still saving his. And yeah, reclaims 3rd place there. Now chasing after Pisivoli himself. 2 seconds back is the Ferrari man. 12.3 to Edwin, and the gap is coming down quickly. Of course, at this point, even the hard compounds will be really struggling. I think Kubica just tried to make a move on Phantom, but maybe a bit over-eager. Not sure what happened, but Phantom Fox did get back ahead. And a 3-second time penalty to Marcelio. Multiple warnings for track limits. Phantom Fox holding on to the DRS of Sully in the battle for 7th. And that will hurt Kuko quite a bit, will make it a lot tougher for him. Try and make a pass, but he has a look around the outside into the Casio triangle. Gets a bit sideways though, not sure if they made contact. Although a bad exit from Phantom Fox gives the advantage to Kuko. Does he have a run this time around? Pulls out the slipstream to the inside of turn 1. Is he far enough alongside? Yes, he is. Gets ahead of the kick Sauber, although Phantom tried to go for the switchback, but he's just lacking a little bit of grip there on those 17 lap old hards. And the front wing damage certainly not helping either. Kuko's mistake coming off the S section there, throwing up a bit of dirt. Gap from Gabi to Pisivoli increasing now, it's 2.5 seconds. Pisivoli with very strong pace right now. 9 laps to go, that rain needs to come down soon. Otherwise, I mean, Edwin, that gap is coming down quickly. He needs to do a rain dance. And at this point, like, he can't really go for a pit stop onto mediums either. It's so late in the race, only 9 laps to go. And, I mean, it's also not looking great if you're Pisivoli, Dylan or Kuko. You made a pit stop from mediums onto mediums. They are not allowed to go to the end. So right now, if the rain doesn't come down, looking very good for a Gabri race win. And Sully in 2nd place. If that rain does come down, it could be Edwin's race win. Pretty much secured. Because the gap is still pretty big, even though Pisivoli is gaining at a rate of absolute knots. Still 8 laps to go, 10 seconds separating. Pisivoli needs to gain about a second a lap from here. And of course he might be doing that now, and probably even doing a bit more than that now. It's just once the rain comes down and make a pit stop to Inters. Oh, Dylan! What a save. Once they make a pit stop to Inters, he will not be doing that anymore. He will not have the massive tyre advantage he has now. And the pace will be more stabilized between the two of them. Sully is caught back of Kuko in the battle for 6th here. field separating a little bit. Some small gaps forming up and down the field. Still all fairly close together, but no one really in overtaking range. Closest battle happening on track. We've got Sully and Kuklo. Dylan is in the air as went to Gabri, but he doesn't really look capable of making a move. He also needs to worry about that fuel of his. I assume he went low on fuel, yeah, in preparation for the rain. Because of course in the rain you're on the throttle much less, you need less fuel. But if that rain just doesn't come, yeah, you have a problem with fuel. And there it is! The rain's starting to come down on lap 20, and Sean Moore with a disconnect. As Sully goes for the move on Kuko, we just see it from the pause menu. Moves up a position into P6. I've invited Sean Moore back in. And yeah, the rain's starting to come down now. With 7 laps to go. And that is what Edwin needed. That is what Dylan needed. That is what Phantom needed. What Bazooka needed. And Kuko as well. You see really, well, I'm sure he could have waited a few more laps so he can get actually close to Edwin. But he also needed this rain to come down, because otherwise, if he has to make another pit stop and the other guys on the dry tires don't, he would have been in big trouble. But Gabi is gaining quite a bit actually now. It's down to 1.5. It was about 3 seconds earlier, wasn't it? Miguel with, I think 15 seconds of penalties now, yep. Adding even more penalties to his name. Shawmul back in the lobby. Hasn't lost too much, still running in 11th. Don't think it's time for intermediates yet, but I'm sure the likes of Edwin, Bazooka and Phantom are gonna want to go to them sooner rather than later to get off those age-old hard compound tires. But it's not quite the time yet. They need to hold on for another lap or two. Yeah. Sully with a move on Bazooka into the Casio triangle. Of course, detection point for DAS is just after 130 yards, so yeah, Sully has gotten the DAS. Bazooka doesn't have any, and Kuka will use this to his advantage. And in the traction zone, absolutely leaves the Alpine for dust. Of course, with the rain coming down, the traction from the tire is even more important. And this will, of course, help the guys on the fashion tire. Sean is back out of the lobby again. Aussie the first one into the pit lane, and he goes for a set of intermediates. I will invite Sean back in if I can. There we go, Sean's got a new invite. Pix also into the pit lane, has to make a wing change also. And on to the intermediates he goes for the last couple of laps. Sean Moore is back in. We've got Always on the back of Phantom Fox here with a 12 lap tire advantage. Lanky Brown getting past the AI of Sean Moore there. And Dylan, what's his fuel looking like? Minus 0.6 that set. Jesus Christ, Dylan. He's finished. Miguel in the pits as well now. On to set of intermediates. Edwin is still staying out. Another lap, I think, though. At the end of this lap, he can definitely pit for Inters. PC and Gabriel staying out. Gabri, this could be your last chance to go for the move while DS is still enabled, but are you close enough? No, he's not. Gabri still stuck behind the V-Cab. At least for the moment. Bazooka though, he gets back past Kuko. With the 9-lap tire disadvantage. Gets back ahead of the Italian. And moves into 6th place. And Kuko with a terrible line to turn 1. Have a look at the gap from Aussie to Mihai. 8.5 and seems fairly stable. Maybe a slightly in favor of Mihai there pace-wise, but not a whole lot. So we're not a million miles away from the intermediates being the tire to be on. Marcelio into the pit lane. Dylan now with a 3-second time penalty. Adding to his fuel issues. He is, I mean, he might be running in 4th right now. And look at the lift and coast he just has to do there. Oh, that's a Haasbrow. That's that's Miguel. Miguel around the hairpin. Already a lap down. Not what we would have been hoping for to save his race. Lanky Brown with a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. And now Gabri, do you have the run on PC release in the slipstream? He's trying. but he has to back out of it into 130R. You can't just drive into him, of course. Edwin is still staying out. I thought for sure he'd pit this lap, because the intermediate shouldn't be much slower than the dry tires, and his tires, of course, are absolutely finished. Yeah, PC will Gabriel in. Dylan, whoa! I think he was trying to go in, but he missed the pit lane, I think, with the overstay he had. Sully is in. Bazooka's in. Kumiko's in. Guerrero staying out another lap. Phantom is in. Always staying out. And of course, going to be intermediates for all of these guys in the pit lane. Only have a handful of laps to go. It's worth mentioning, the guys who made pit stops from mediums to hards or hards to mediums, they can go to the end if they want to. Dylan and Edwin can't. They have to make a pit stop. And Sully has come out just behind Lanky Brown. Gabri's actually jumped PC Woody in the pit lane. And that's absolutely massive. Like I said, in the rain it's much harder to overtake. And Gabri now in the effective lead of the race. And if we have a look at the gap to leader, not effective lead of the race, he was way behind Edwin. But he is gaining. He is gaining on his teammate. Or is he? Ah, kind of. It's close. But that's Gabri up to P2. Sorry, not the effective lead of the race. Jumping PC Woody in the pit lane. And Lanky Brown is really struggling on those dry tires. And Bazooka leaves him for dead as well. Or does he? Lanky Brown is still up the inside there. Got a yellow flag up ahead. But on the traction zone. Yep, the intermediate. Significantly faster than the hard compound. Now Edwin is into the pits. 4 instead of intermediates. And the strategy has worked out to absolute perfection for him. He's maybe gone a lap too long, but it won't cost him anything. The gap he had was so massive that he is still easily in the lead of the race. Dylan is still staying out. What is Dylan cooking? Let me check. Dylan was on a medium. Yeah, he has to pit. You can't go to the end, Dylan. You get disqualified. Guga Rivers in, and so is Always. And I think Lanky Brown will be as well. So Dylan, the last one, still left on a dry compound. Piscioli, back ahead of Gabri. He's made the pass on the main straight. And indeed, they have gained about a second to Edwin in that one lap. So yeah, the tire difference not too bad, but not ideal either. So yeah, thankfully for Edwin he had that big gap up ahead. And they are gaining massively on Dylan. Dylan has definitely got this one wrong to stay out another lap, because of course I mean, the only way that this could possibly work is if he goes to the end, but it's quite a way to go still, with 3 more laps after this. And he can't. He's not allowed to. He will get disqualified. And I think he's gonna let I'm not sure if he was letting Edwin through, or if he just had no choice. But either way, Edwin is in the lead of the race now. And Dylan... Oh, don't kill him, please. That would have been the worst possible way to lose the race when Edwin has worked so hard to get himself here. A beautiful strategy call by the Ferrari man. When do you hear that in Formula 1? And I think Dylan needs to now go into the pit lane. Mihai with a 3-second time penalty, and I see yellow flag for the safety car! Safety car! A safety car has been deployed! Dylan, you are the luckiest man alive. It's saved you from running out of fuel, and it saved you from your terrible strategy of staying out even longer. Of course, Edwin will be caught behind that safety car. So he can't pit, but I don't think he wants to anyway. Miguel is out of the race as well. I'm not sure what the safety car was called out for. And Dylan will come out of the pits ahead of Sully. It's close, it's close. Sully's burning overtake, it's that close. And there is Dylan. They're both burning overtake. Sully has just about beaten him to the the pit lane line, the end of the white line separating the track from the pit lane. That is where you have to be ahead. And yeah, Dylan immediately slams into 8 gear. Use lean mix, my friend. You need all the fuel you can get to make the line here. You need to save half a lap of fuel in 3 laps. The safety car should be in at the end of this lap. It doesn't usually wait for everyone to catch up when you are in a scenario like this so late in the Grand Prix. It just goes in as soon as possible. And yeah, Dylan needs to save so much fuel. The safety car might not even save him. It might actually hurt him more than it saves him, because the running out of fuel now will be even worse, with everyone so close behind. But yeah, he's doing some like heavy fuel saving techniques here to somehow get over the line with the fuel he has. But this safety car, well, we are gonna have a short sprint to the line, 2 laps probably. I think it's gonna come in at the end of this lap, and then we'll have Edwin, Pisivuli, Gabri and Sully all chasing Edwin for the race lead. And yeah, Dylan has now got a train of cars behind him, who of course wanted to catch up to the safety car, but Dylan can't go any faster than this. He will run out of fuel. And I think the safety car, yep, it's been called in at the end of this lap. Only 1 lap of safety car running, and not everyone is going to catch up. I think these guys are just about going to make it still. This train behind Dylan. There they are, yep. They have caught up, and Dylan has still got about a quarter of a lap missing on fuel. And here we go. Edwin will restart the race. Pisivuli right behind him though. And it's a 2-lap sprint to the end. Can Pisivuli find a way around the Ferrari man? Can Gabri get back ahead? Gabri with a great restart there. Has he got the run on the V-car? Pisivuli covering the middle track. Gabri goes even further inside. But Pisivuli swoops around the outside into the first corner and holds on to second place. Great defense by Pisivuli. And now maybe can turn defense into attack against Edwin. Can he find a way around him for the race win here? Picks is round, and he's lost his entire front wing there. No more safety cars though, we've only got 1.5 laps to go. Pisivuli up the hill, using some overtake. Is he gonna go for the move into deck now? Surely not. No, he's not. Gabri a bit further back. Not quite the same pace as guys ahead for the S section. But maybe he was just conserving EIS for the rest of the lap. We've got Dylan putting pressure on Sully. And he sends it up the inside, into the hairpin, but goes over the curb. Still gets it done though, it looks like. No, they're side by side on the exit. Both drivers with pretty equal traction. But Dylan ends up ahead. But he will run out of fuel. He will not have enough fuel to make the line, and he will lose so many places. Pisivuli now. Has he got the run on Edwin? He is pretty close here. Burning with overtake. Can he get away around the Ferrari into 130R? No. But maybe Edwin has to cover the inside, the middle of the track. Goes a bit deep. Can Pisivuli try a switchback? Has he got the right setup for it? Not really. But with a good exit, we're going on to the last lap of the race. This is the deciding part. And Pisivuli with a great run on Edwin. Goes around the outside. They're side by side on the main straight. Pisivuli clears him. Here comes Gabri as well with a move on his teammate. Side by side into the first corner. Can Gabri now steal second position away from Edwin? He can't. Edwin swooping around the outside. And now Pisivuli once again in the lead, followed by Edwin. Edwin had such a massive gap for that safety car, and I'm not even sure what it was called out for. But it's opened the race right up. Pisivuli has taken advantage, and Edwin needs to try and find a way back ahead of the V-Cup man if he wants to take this race run. But Pisivuli has got a bit of a decent gap after the S section there. But a great Degner too by Edwin. Although he loses so much on the exit, you can tell the traction control is kicking in. And I think Pisivuli races without it. And that's where Pisivuli is gaining so much time. On the exit of the corners, he just rockets away. Dylan now with a great run on Gabri. But like I said, he will run out of fuel. He will drop probably out of the points, honestly. Yellow flags for... I'm not sure. But now, yeah, Dylan has run out of fuel already. Oh, Dylan, that's heartbreaking. Pisivuli will hold on to the race win. Yep, Pisivuli, the safety cars brought him back into it after Edwin had an absolutely brilliant strategy call to just start on the hard and wait until the rain comes down, pit for the inters. But Pisivuli, with the safety car coming down, took his opportunity and took the race win here in Japan. His first race win of the season. Edwin with his third P2 of the season now. Another 18 points going his way. Gabri in third place, a Ferrari 2 and 3, V-Cup 1 and 4. Great races for those two. Bazooka coming home in 5th there as well, with the same strategy call. Edwin made a really good strategy from his side. Vandenbox also the same strategy, coming home in 6th. Kyukyo in 7th. What has happened to everyone's front ring over the line? Guga River in 8th, then Always in 9th, and Ossi rounding out top 10. Dylan holds on to 11th as he ran out of fuel at the end there. Even the safe car couldn't save him from that. Lanky Brown in 12th, Mihai through the pit lane in 13th, and Action Rick will come home in 14th, and then we have DNF, Marcelio, Pix, Sean, Miguel, and DC Rival. That has been the Japanese Grand Prix in Division 2. Jesus, what a race. The safety car at the end, out of absolutely nowhere, really spicing it up, and what a fight by PC Woody and Edwin for the race win. Right into death. Really, really lovely to see. Very respectful racing by everyone involved. Driver of the Day award goes to Phantom Fox, and for good reason, starting last, finishing 6th. A very, very good effort by the Sauberman. I think he's just driver of the day every week, because he starts last every week and just gains like 12 places, so... 1 and 4 for VCARB, 2 and 3 for Ferrari. Really, really good weekends. Well, races. It's not a weekend, it's Wednesday. Really, really good races for those two. And I think we've got 2 firm favorites for the Constructors' Championship there. Edwin, yeah, very much with a good start in the season. Not quite the win that he probably thought he had in the bag. But another P2. And yeah, like I said, valuable 18 points. Extends his lead at the front of the championship. PC Woody so far, yeah, he's now on 40 points, with Edwin on 55, if my math is correct. Gabri also on 40 points. So a very, very exciting title fight. I'll quickly go through the full results screen as well. Fastest lap goes to Dylan, so he does get at least 1 point for his performance today. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's stream. I thought it was rather enjoyable. A very good race. The first stage of the season, finally. That was, yeah, great fun. Our next race will be at Qatar. Of course, the Division 1 Qatar Grand Prix on Saturday. 7:30 PM UK. And in 7 days from now on Wednesday, the Qatar Grand Prix in Division 2. Of course, also our esports division still racing. We've got 3 more races to go on that. The championship can be wrapped up at Mexico for NLR NLR Development. Yeah, 7 PM UK on Sunday at the Mexican Grand Prix in the esports division. Hope to be seeing you for that. And yeah, I wish you all a good evening and goodbye.